was against that instruction, because where God said to him to stay was not Egypt. God was in Canaan, and Abraham left God to Egypt. You're not hearing me at all. And the Bible says, on their way to Egypt, Abraham said to his wife, for we to eat, we will have to lie. Oh, you didn't get my point at all. There is nothing you will not do for food. Oh my God. You say, but man of God, I lie. I can withstand the test of time. Don't tell me that yet until your small child tell you eyeball to eyeball, Papa, I am hungry. Some women go out of their way to do what they don't want to do, not because they want to do it, but for the sake of the children. I have seen women that slept with men, even as a married woman, just to pay their children's school fees. It's not because they want to do it, it was hunger. You don't get my point at all. I have seen some young ladies that have gone into prostitution and hook up business just to put food on the table, and you're not getting my point at all. I am here to prophesy, no matter how you are hungry, you can't beg from your enemies. No matter how hungry you are, your enemies, you won't beg for them. Can you sit down? Let me preach. Your standing is raising my temple. I just want to preach to you today. I want to tell you something, that in the midst of scarcity, water can still come out. Oh my God, I feel fire over me. The Bible says, just the other day, Abraham had a son. Not Abraham. Abraham had a son. His name was called Ishmael. And the Bible in Genesis 21, if you read from verse 19, the Bible says Abraham had a son. While he was waiting on God, he got a baby from a bondwoman. And the Lord appeared to Abraham, and the Lord said to Abraham, Sarah your wife has said, chase this bondwoman and the seed away. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you chase out your own seed? And the Bible says it was a difficult solution, a difficult condition for Abraham, but Abraham took Hagar. Man of God, I feel the fire. Abraham took Hagar and his son Ishmael, and the Bible says before they left the family of Abraham, with all due respect, Abraham was rich and he was wealthy in cattle, in camels, in horses. He never gave Ishmael a camel. He never gave Ishmael anything good. He called Ishmael, he gave him a bread and a bottled water. How can you give me a bread and a bottled water? Ishmael looked at Abraham and said to his mother, are you sure that this is my father? Because I can see blessings around. Why give me a bottle of water and agege bread? The bread was soft, the bread was succulent, but the bread cannot sustain them in the journey. And the Bible says Hagar and Ishmael began a journey, and they get to a desert. Man of God, I fear God. And they get to a desert. Somebody say wilderness. They get to the wilderness, and the Bible says they check the bread has finished. They check the water has finished. The arm of flesh failed them. As long as you look at the physical blessing of your father, you can never get to your destiny. That was what Jabez understood, that my father's blessing is not my blessing, my father's property is not my property. Aside my father's property, I need my own property. And the Bible says when they got to the wilderness, the water finished, the bread finished. When men carry you, what they give to you is for you to come back again. So everything they had finished. And the Bible says when I read through that place, tears started rolling from my eye. I could see Ishmael, a small boy, and innocent boy that never planned to be on earth, but the mistake of the mother and of the father is what prompted the boy to suffer for what he never knew. And Ishmael began to die. And the Bible says in chapter 24, it says Hagar saw that Ishmael was dying, so he dropped the child in the wilderness and he went aside to somewhere and he turned his face from the child and he said to Ishmael, at this point I cannot help you again, I cannot assist you anymore. And Ishmael was dying, and the Bible says Hagar began to cry. When I check the next verse, the Bible says an angel of the Lord appeared to Hagar in the wilderness and said to Hagar, don't you know that even in the desert there can still be a tree? The angel said to Hagar, the father rejected him, but God never rejected him. Even you have rejected him for him to die. But I want to tell you, Hagar, that was when the prophecy of Ishmael came. For Ishmael shall be great. The Ishmael shall be great. And there was a prophecy. Why they were prophesying, why the angel was talking, Ishmael was dying from nowhere in the desert. God did not just give them water, God gave them a well of water. Man of God, do you know what is called a well? You will drink and satisfy. You can never get tired. The father gave him bottled water, God gave him a well. The father gave him the beginning, but gave him the air. And the Bible says Haggai cried, but God had the voice of Ishmael. I want to prophesy. I feel something here. If I be a man of God in this land of Makari, you will not just be blessed with 1,000. You will count money in millions. You will count money in millions. Lift up your hand and shout power. Oh God, oh my God.